may be in trouble. All right, here is day one. Put the eggs in about 20 minutes ago and they're coming up to temperature, and the humidity is coming up as well. Just checking in, we got 12 in there. I'm not really sure what they're gonna be, but we're just excited to have some chickens. So a couple of thermometers monitoring the temperature as well as the one on top, and we will see how it goes in a couple of days. So we've got some conflicting sources telling us what temperature and humidity to have our eggs at. It seems like 45 to 60% is kind of the range that we're going for. So we're gonna aim for that 52%. And then the temperature range, it always says like 99 to 102. So we're gonna aim for like right at 100. So I'm gonna attempt to raise the humidity just a little bit in this thing and see if we can get it right at that sweet spot. All right guys, here we are. This is the end of our first full day. Just wanted to show you our incubator setup. We have this jumbl brand incubator, and it's got nice little settings and a candler and whatnot. I also bought this Goabroa hygrometer. I think that's how you say it. Who knows? It came with this styrofoam casing, which helps to regulate the temperature change. My only complaint so far is that the setting up here is a degree or two higher than the temperature I can achieve with my other two thermometers. There's a little reservoir down on the bottom that's divided into 5 channels to allow you to adjust the humidity. It says to keep the middle one filled up during this first 18 days, but that gives it a much higher percentage than what it suggests. So right now you can see we're at 59%. I just refilled it, so it's gonna be a little bit high right now, but I wanted to make sure it lasted through the night. But that middle tray puts it up to close to 60 most times, which I've read some places is ideal. The manufacturer of this machine says 45 to 55 is best. Different places online say 50 to 65. So I feel like if we aim for 50 to 60, we're probably gonna be all right. I got these eggs from a friend of a friend, and it is the middle of winter, so there's no guarantee they're gonna be any good, but we're giving it a try anyway, and we'll see how things turn out. So we'll check back in, and maybe we can show you the candling process too, which is nice. There is a little button right here to turn on the candling light, which will be helpful. So yeah, this is the jumbl egg incubator. It's pretty simple settings, but like I said, they aren't exactly as accurate as they pretend to be. And then we have our Goabroa hygrometer. And this is just a regular thermometer I threw in there, just so I could have a manual reading. The incubator did come with these little dividers for your eggs to help them roll. And there's an automatic rolling mechanism right there that turns on and rolls the eggs every, I think it's 2 hours, just so they can get that agitation to help them grow better. Basically that little arm or that wheel turns and it moves that arm and it slides the tray over, which rolls the eggs. I'm using one of the extra dividers that I didn't need because I'm not hatching small eggs to kind of prop up my thermometers. We'll check back in next time. All right guys, here we are at not quite the end of day 4. Most things say I could probably do some candling at the end of today, but I'm gonna wait until about 7 days and I'll show you that candling process to see if we have any potential hatchers. So I'm gonna show you where we are with this incubator and tell you kind of what my thoughts are. So up until now, it's been very hard to maintain the temperature and the humidity that it says I should be having. And I think it's because the eggs were adapting to the machine and they were soaking in a whole bunch of moisture, and now they've kind of reached where they're supposed to be and everything's kind of evened out. Because I used to have to set my settings up here way higher than the temperature output I was getting down here. So I'd have this on like 103 and this would be just under 100. But you can see now I've got it at 100% or 100 degrees, and this is at 99.3. So we're at least within a degree Also, you're supposed to fill up these trays at the bottom. There's 5 different trays, and each one will let you control the humidity. Early on, whenever I'd fill up the middle tray like it suggested, it was supposed to keep it between 45 and 55%, and it was just wildly surging and dropping over the course of a couple of hours. And I haven't had to adjust it in a couple of days now. Well, I say a couple days, in about 24 hours. And it's maintained this kind of mid-50s, close to 100-degree heat for about that 24 hours, which is where we want it to be from what I can tell. So our next video will hopefully be just a check-in, followed by some candling. The nice thing about this egg incubator is that it has a nice little gear there with an arm on it, and that arm automatically rotates the eggs for us, taking out one of the steps. And since I'm new to this, I need all the help I can get. Again, I have no guarantees that that's why it's working better now, but I have a feeling it's just that everything inside of there has kind of reached an equilibrium and it's worked itself out, so it's much more stable now that the eggs aren't soaking up excess heat because they have reached their kind of a stasis temperature. And the same thing with the moisture. They've kind of reached a stasis of taking in moisture, and now they're just maintaining. So we are close to the end of day 4, and that means that we are somewhere between 15 or so days away from chickens, maybe a couple more. So that's all. We'll check back in later. We put these eggs in about 7 days ago. We're a little bit past the 7-day mark. We are hatching a variety of brown eggs, and therefore it's kind of hard to candle them, but we're going to candle, and I'm going to show you what I can see. Here's a disclaimer: I am no expert, but I'll show you what I've learned, and we'll see how it turns out in the end. So here we are, day 7, checking on the eggs. Let's see what we got. Here's our first egg. You can see there's kind of a dark line on the side to the right, and the left is a little bit lighter, so that's the white from the yolk. The fact that it's dark and big like that means something's happening. We're going to turn it over and see what the underside looks like. So we're not 100% sure what we're looking at here, but we know we have progress. Camera's not doing too great in the low light. Here's egg number 2. Egg number 2 is more diagonal. You can see the light side. There's some hay that's stuck on it. Ignore that. And then here's the bottom. And if you look real closely, you can see on the bottom right-hand corner, there's that line. And that line tells us that there is an air sac in there, and that air sac is what's going to provide the air to the chicken. And from what I've read, that means that we have progress. As long as we can see that line and it looks fine, we're probably on the right track. So number 2, definite line. Egg number 3. You can see maybe an air sac there on the bottom of this one as well, and that could be progress. It may also be a problem. It's one of those things that we won't be able to tell for probably another week. So egg number 3 may be good. Egg number 4 is a very dark egg. Very, very dark egg. And I don't know what that means, but I can't see anything from my eyes. The camera picks up a little bit better than I can, but I don't see that. Well, there might be a little air pocket on this back side right here, and that could be a good thing, but it's a very dark shell, so it's hard to tell. So egg 4 may be good. Egg 5. There we go. You can see that bright spot on the bottom, and as I move it, it moves with it. That is the air pocket, which is supposed to be a good sign. Egg 5 is good. Egg 6. Oh, our light went off. Gotta turn it back on. Egg 6. We're looking for that air pocket again. I don't know if you can see it, but I can. There's that line right there. That is our air pocket. And I'm not confusing the air pocket with the egg white. So the egg white's over here on this side. The air pocket is always on the end of the egg. At least it's supposed to be. In that dark spot, that's our baby chicken. And I think at this point, it's already got a beating heart, and it maybe even just barely resembles a chicken. Egg number 7 is a lighter colored egg. Here we are upside down first. Turn it right side up and see if we can see that air pocket. Yeah, there's a little bit of an air pocket. You can tell right there. I'll throw it to the back side. So here's the back side. And there's a little line right there that is different on the air pocket as opposed to the egg white. Again, the camera is having trouble picking it up, but it's definitely there. So 7 looks like it's making good progress. Number 8. Number 8, there we go. A little air pocket on the bottom, just like it's supposed to be. Number 8, looks like it's doing good. Number 9. So that's the top, here's the bottom. I don't know if you can see it, but I can see a little air pocket there on the bottom. So 9 looks pretty good. Number 10 is a lighter colored egg, so it might be easier to see. There we go. There's definitely an air pocket on the bottom of that one. You can see it as I turn the egg this way. A little pocket comes out. This one doesn't quite fit in the candler perfectly, but that's all right. Egg number 11. Looking for that air bubble. Oh yeah, definitely an air bubble on that one. You can see it right there on the bottom of the egg here. I'll turn it to the white side so you can tell the difference, so it's not even quite as bright. But then there's this little loop at the bottom. And egg number 12, which is probably our lightest egg. And we look at the bottom, and you can see there. See it again? There's a little line right there at the bottom. Again, this camera is having trouble seeing through the darkness, but it's there. I'm gonna check that first egg one more time, because that was the only one I remember maybe not seeing. Put the bottom down. Well, I do see it. So the camera doesn't quite pick it up, and the egg is really dark, but if you look real close, you can see there's a little bit of a color difference in that bottom corner and this egg. So according to everything I've read, we are on the right track. So good for us. All right, guys, so that's pretty much it. We have 12 eggs, and it looks like all 12 of them are doing fine. My hope was to have just a couple of chickens. I really kind of don't want all 12 to hatch, to be honest. But if they do, they do, and we'll find hopefully some good homes for them. Because I'm not sure I can handle that many chickens in what we've got set up on this property. In the future, maybe it's fine, but for right now, just a few is all I'm looking for. But of course, they do say, don't count your chickens before they hatch. This is just our first egg experiment. Sorry. If you'd like to get a message to us, be sure to leave a comment below. If you want to know what's going on, I'm going to try to do an update every week on something different, and hopefully we'll do a 14-day update on these eggs, and then we'll do our final hatching day. Maybe we'll get to see some chicks actually hatch and pip out of their shells and whatnot. So some exciting things happening here. Catch you next time on the Hendrix Homestead.